Guess I'm not very good at taking breaks. Before continuing on, I want to give a special thank you to VentiFresh for sponsoring this video. If you follow the link in the description below, you can check out their Odor eliminator device. It's a little USB powered device. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that though later in this video. What do you think of your first time in New Orleans?
I actually kind of like it with fewer people. I know that's not great for businesses around here, but I really just like looking at all the buildings, so.
It's usually super busy in this part of the city, but it's been pretty quiet, and we actually haven't really walked around much. We've been here for a few days at this point. This is the first time that we've really gone out and explored in the quarter, but it's a beautiful evening, so good time to do it, right?
Yeah.
They're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. Oh, they're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. No more pain, no more worry. I got no more time for loving you.
Welcome to Alabama.
So we've been on the road for almost 3 hours at this point. We are on our way to Florida. I know I mentioned that in the last video, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but we're having a little bit of a detour right now. Just managed to pick up not one, but 2 nails in my tire. They're both sticking out right here. I must have got them on the highway. My tire pressure light came on. We were in a little bit of a traffic jam. So we're stopping at this Firestone here. Hopefully they'll be able to help me out. Fortunately, it is a Saturday right in the middle of the day, so hopefully we can get in and get out and get back on the road. So because it is a Saturday, every place around here is like absolutely packed. It was like 5-hour waits at some of them at the Firestone that we were at. But we did call around and we found this shop and they said they could take care of it in the next couple hours. So it's a little worse than we were thinking originally. There are 2 nails on the driver's side rear tire, but there's also 2 nails on the passenger side rear tire. And the passenger side one is in a spot that they're not really gonna be able to patch. They're a little bit worried. It's like right on the seam on the edge of the tire. So what they're gonna do is just put the spare, which I found out today is actually a full-size spare on these MV200s, so that's good. They're gonna put the spare on the passenger side and they're gonna patch the driver's side. The front tires don't look like they have any nails in it, but whatever I hit did some damage, but I think we're gonna be able to get back on the road within the next hour or so. Good to go. Mavis Discount Tire in Daphne, Alabama. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. They got it done in like an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours. It gave us just enough time to get lunch, and we did have to hang out for a little bit, but it is, like I said before, a super busy day, so we're just happy to be back on the road. Our plan is to head towards Florida now, and we actually have to go really far still. I think we still have like another 8 or 9 hours at this point to get to like south central Florida area, south of Tampa. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a hike, but like I said in the last video, you know, we're going over there. Tomorrow is Father's Day, and we're hoping to surprise my parents who are there just for a week in Florida hanging out on Father's Day to surprise my dad. And Shannon actually has not met my parents yet, so that's going to be fun. You know, she's going to get the chance to hang out and meet them. Hopefully it goes well, and just being able to see them. I haven't seen my family in almost a year at this point, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's a matter of getting there. You know, we left really early this morning. We were out in New Orleans by like 8 o'clock, you know, and we were hoping to do the 11 hours or so and get there tonight. but this kind of held us up, and by the time we get there, my parents are probably going to be asleep, so we're probably going to have to either stealth camp somewhere, maybe get a hotel, because it's going to be really, really hot, so maybe we might even get like a cheap hotel somewhere, do that for a night, and then first thing tomorrow morning, show up and surprise my parents. But we'll see what happens, guys. I'm grateful that this van has a spare tire, and that it is a spare tire that is a full size. I always knew it was under there, but you know, I didn't realize. I thought it was just a dummy. I didn't realize it was a full size tire. So definitely a good thing for the NV200 to have a full size tire like that. And I'm gonna have to replace the spare at some point, maybe when we get to Florida. But for now, it's just a matter of trying to get there.
Welcome to Florida.
So we tried to stay at a hotel last night. We were driving in, we got into this area around like 1 o'clock in the morning, a little before 1 a.m. And Shannon had some rewards points on her credit card to use, so she tried booking this hotel like back when we were in Tallahassee yesterday. And then we got here, and we got to the parking lot, and there was not a single parking spot available. Every single parking spot was taken, so we're like, oh, that's not a good sign. We drove around a couple times, and we pulled up front, went to go try to check in, and the guy said that he was completely booked, and that Expedia, or whatever it was, overbooked us.
Yeah, it's a Chase Rewards app
Yeah.
via Expedia, and I actually did book it. I didn't just try to book it. I booked.
No, she got like a confirmation that it was booked and everything like that. But he said that it happens all the time, that the app is behind real time. They get people coming in and they book them to them instead of the app. And
He said 3 people that night had come in, and he hadn't been able to give them their room.
that was last night, so we kind of gave up. It's really hot here, guys. I mean, I know people do this. Like, people do live in vans. There's someone sleeping in their car right now, right across the way at this Walmart that we're at. People who live here do this, but it's I mean, it's oppressive. It's oppressive humidity. It's like literally it's 90% relative humidity right now, and like 82 degrees, and it's like 6:30 in the morning, and it was like that all night last night. I think if we get like one of those oscillating fans and have that in here, it'll definitely cool things off a little bit, make it a little bit more bearable, but it is very, very hot. So despite the fact that we didn't really sleep very well last night, only got about 5 hours of sleep, the plan continues on. We have made it to pretty close to where my parents are. We have about another hour or so to drive this morning. We just didn't want to show up in the middle of the night last night. You know, showing up at 1 o'clock in the morning to surprise my parents isn't as fun as showing up right in the morning on Father's Day. So we're going to make our way over there. Hopefully we catch them before they head off to the beach and see what happens.
Do I look like I'm ready to meet your parents?
Yeah, it's Florida. Everybody's got frizzy hair. It's not just you. The good news is I did talk to my parents last night, and they think we're in Colorado. They have absolutely no idea that we're coming. Nervous?
Yeah, little. It adds a lot of excitement when we're surprising them.
I'm like shaking right now.
You're not gonna believe it. Sorry. You're not gonna believe it. Huh? Oh.
As I mentioned earlier, this video is sponsored by VentiFresh. They make this odor eliminator device. It's this little tiny USB-powered odor eliminator, and the thing works pretty well. You know, I think it's originally designed for like cat litter boxes and things like that. That was like kind of originally what they were going for, but they also figured that it could work in RVs and in camper vans and small vans and stuff like that. So they sent one to me to kind of give it a try, and it has been working pretty well. You know, we've been using it pretty frequently for Shannon's van here. I know we mentioned this in a previous video, but she does have these like crazy smells coming from underneath her sink. I think sometimes food kind of gets caught where the drain is, and then we have to clean it out. But if you don't clean it out like within a few more days or within a week or so, it starts to smell again. So we've been keeping this thing under there to kind of help prevent us from having to clean it out constantly, and it does seem to be working. It has a couple of different modes, like a turbo mode where the fan really kicks up and it really helps to kind of push air through it. And we find that it works best when it's in an enclosed environment. So when we close up the cabinet underneath the sink and stick it in there, we find that it tends to work better than just keeping it in like a wide open space in the middle of the van, because it is a pretty tiny device here. It doesn't really use very much power though. It's very efficient and just kind of a cool thing. If you follow the link in the description below, you can find the VentiFresh Eco Odor Eliminator. Definitely would recommend checking them out, guys. Thank you again, VentiFresh, for sponsoring this video. It is extremely hot here, which I guess is to be expected in Florida, right in the middle of the summer. Still not 100% sure why we came here, but it was really nice getting to hang out with my parents for a couple of days, and Shannon obviously got to meet my parents for the first time, so that was pretty awesome. And they ended up leaving. They went back up to New England. They were only planning to be here for about a week, and we kind of caught them on the second half of their trip. And now we're just hanging out here, using the condo for a little bit. We're probably going to be here for about another week or so. You know, obviously Florida has kind of been in the news a lot recently with the surge in COVID and the cases and the pandemic and everything like that with the virus. That really wasn't the case when we made the decision to come here, but it did kind of get worse as we were about to arrive. And the day that we arrived, I think, was when it started to really kind of spike up a little bit. And you know, it is what it is. I don't know if it's that bad where we are. We're kind of in a pretty quiet area of Florida. We're not really in a major city or anything like that. And we've mostly just been avoiding people altogether anyways. We've pretty much just been hanging out inside the condo here. Fortunately, we can walk to the beach. It's about a 5 or 6 minute walk. So we've been walking over the bridge and going to the beach. But it's a pretty quiet beach. There's really not too many people that go there. So we've kind of just been keeping our distance from people, trying not to go to grocery stores, wearing our masks when we go around and stuff, and pretty much just doing what we were doing beforehand anyway. So it's been kind of nice just having a place with air conditioning to be able to relax and get work done and take it easy. And I think we're going to enjoy having it for another week or so. My parents do have friends that are planning to come down and use it in a week, so they're going to be here, so we're going to have to head out, and our plan will be to start making our way north. I know I mentioned this in a previous video. My sister was planning to get married in June, but then the wedding obviously had to get canceled. I think it was supposed to be last weekend, and it ended up having to get canceled because of the pandemic, and then they pushed it, they rescheduled it to October, so in Maine, she's planning to get married in October. I don't know if that's going to end up working out. You know, we're really hoping that it does, but obviously things are very up in the air right now with the pandemic and everything like that, so we'll see what happens there. But our plan is to kind of make our way to New England for the fall, and probably even quite a bit sooner. You know, I do miss my family, and it was really awesome getting the chance to see them for a few days, and I want to spend more time with them and with my sister, who I haven't seen in a long time, and Morgan and Nico and everybody else, my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting back to New England, and that's kind of what we're going to do, I think, by August or so, try to make our way up there. Maybe through the Blue Ridge Parkway. I don't know if Shannon's really seen that part of the country yet, and I haven't been there since I was in the element many years ago, so I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be kind of a nice break, and it might be a little bit cooler up there at the higher elevation, so we might be able to find little places to camp for a few days like we were doing out west, and then kind of make our way towards the northeast. But that's all going to be part of the next few videos here, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.